1:30 on a Wednesday. We welcome you back inside the all-new Mercedes-Benz Atlantic City studios. This is the warm-up on 97.3 ESPN FM. I'm Rich Quinones, PG on the other side. We'll take you up to 2 o'clock, switch gears just for a couple minutes, then we'll get back to the text messages. We'll get back on board with the NFL talk, but we'll switch gears. You guys know we always like talk boxing during the week, and a very good middleweight out of Atlantic City, DeCarlo Perez, out in Vegas. Couple minutes to speak with us as he's getting set to take on Juan Alberto Cabrera. That's going to be a Showtime, Showbox telecast, and the Atlantic City natives join us for a couple moments. So, Carlo, good to talk to you, my friend.
Hey, it's nice to talk to you as well. How's it going?
Everything is going well, and I'm not going to hold you. I know you're out in Vegas, and you have a little momentum going, won 3 straights, and suffering a tough 8-round split decision loss against Wilkie Kempfort back in January. But I'm just curious. You look at Cabrera right now. Not a guy where you look at his record. Yeah, 23-0. Sure, he's a top-ranked middleweight in Dominican Republic. I don't know about the competition. Might be soft competitions, but he's 36. You're 24. Youth's on your side. But what's your scouting report on Cabrera?
He's going to come in and, what we've been told is that he's going to come in and try to coast. He's not big on, big punching or big power or fast speed. But he definitely stays in the mix throughout the whole fight. He stays at a certain pace. So that's what we've been able to hear because there's no video on this guy.
Yeah.
But that's not the first time that we've gone through that. We've been a few fights in where we didn't have no video. So, that doesn't bother me as well. I've been through hell and back in the gym, so I know where I'm going to get through with this fight.
Any notable guys you were sparring with during this camp?
There isn't much notable guys during this whole camp, but
sure.
In between I've sparred guys like Derek Webster,
sure.
was one of the guys that I had most recently sparred, and a few guys from the local area, some young, hungry guys from the local area of mine in Violin, Atlantic City, and people that work with me as well.
I want to go back to one of the fights. I mean, I know there were a couple fights where when you go to the Campo fight, a lot of people thought you were outworked in that, despite it being a close contest. And then you look at the Dontre King fight back in 2011, the Willis fight last summer. These are lesser opponents. When you look at yourself, you're 24 years of age. You have close to about 18 pro fights, so right around 20 pro fights, we'll say. How do you mentally keep yourself knowing that if you are on paper going against a guy where you think you should beat, to really just kind of respecting that opponent and understanding it's going to be a long fight, and despite their record, you can't take that for granted?
Yeah, that's one thing to sit there and look at. You could definitely never take anyone's record for granted. You sit there, you see someone's record, you might sit there and go, oh, well, I'm going to train this way because the people that they face. But you got to remember, this man is going in there to hurt you, and you have to be well prepared to, so that doesn't happen. We take people's records into consideration, but we always go in knowing, what could happen. So we prepare intensely, very, very intense, and, make sure that no mistakes or very little mistakes happen.
Couple minutes with Atlantic City middleweight boxer DeCarlo Perez. I'm Rich Quinones. DeCarlo will be fighting on Showtime Showbox telecast Friday in Las Vegas at the D Hotel and Casino against Juan Alberto Cabrera. You mentioned about not taking guys for granted, and sometimes a loss is good to suffer and sustain in a young fighter's career. And I go back to the fight against Rafael Montavo, where a lot of people don't realize the kid was a vet of close to 140, 150 fights. And that was a fight where you talk about a guy just getting caught. I thought you got caught in that one. I thought you were a little stunned when that second round, the knockdown happened, and then maybe you just couldn't really find your wits about yourself. But that's okay because you want to get tested like that early in your career. Was that an example of a fight where you just got caught and maybe just didn't understand your surroundings for the moment, and then of course Morton stepped in and stopped the bout?
Yeah, you said it perfectly. It was a I said I watched the tape and I go, wow, a great shot. But, now being through that situation, I know how to respond to things and to be able to know where I'm at in the ring and know where my opponent is at and what he's doing to me as well. So it was a big eye opener because when you're a young fighter, and don't get me wrong, I think I was like 4-0 or 5-0 at that time.
Mm-hmm.
When you're undefeated and you got that little win going on, you feel as if you're invincible. And I want to sit there and say, hey, I wish it didn't happen. But you want to know something? I've had a career as to where it wasn't padded or anything like that. I've been through strange decision losses, and of course the Montalvo fight.
Yeah. And
some fighters don't go through that their whole career, and they finally had that, in the later part of their career, and they never know how to bounce back from that. And honestly, when you sit there, you look back at the Wilkie Camper fight. Okay, fine. It was a split decision loss. But you look at the CompuBox records, I landed, 53% of my shots, and he landed less than 50%. You got to sit there and kind of question yourself, well, did he really lose this fight? And, it goes to one of those decisions that you want to look at. And it got me set. It got my mind focused and my mind on track on, always being on my A game.
DeCarlo, last one for you. I know we got to wrap it up, and we appreciate a couple moments. It's going to be your first 10-rounder, and typically, like I said, when you have 6, 7, 8 fights of 8 rounds, even the 6-rounders, I don't think there's really a distinction between conditioning from a cardio standpoint from 6 to 8. But what about 8 to 10, especially if you're going against a guy that likes to fight in the pocket, a guy who's probably got nothing to lose, a guy who's coming to just trying to bully you around a little bit, a veteran guy, an older fighter, maybe work the body a little bit. I mean, those shots start to add up in the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, the 10th round. Anything different conditioning-wise this camp?
There hasn't been too much different conditioning-wise. I mean, what I've had, I've done a little bit more yoga as far as stretching and stuff like that. But our workouts are very, very intense. And 10 rounds for this fight isn't going to be that much of a problem. We always keep the conditioning great.
Yeah. How about that? A boxer doing some yoga calms you down, right?
Yeah. It's something else, right?
Yeah, exactly. DeCarlo, good stuff, my friend. Appreciate a couple moments. We'll talk soon. The best of luck on Friday night.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and have a good night.